ఫార్మసీ రంగంలో విస్తృత ఉపాధి అవకాశాలు ఉన్నాయని కామన్వెల్త్ ఫార్మసిస్ట్ అసోసియేషన్ ప్రెసిడెంట్ డాక్టర్ రావు వడ్లమూడి పేర్కొన్నారు. చెబురుల హనుమయ్య ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ ఆఫ్ ఫార్మాస్యూటికల్ సైన్సెస్ కళాశాలలో డ్రగ్ సేఫ్టీ అనే అంశంపై 2 రోజుల పాటు జాతీయ స్థాయి సదస్సు నిర్వహించారు. చిప్స్ కళాశాల అధ్యక్షుడు డాక్టర్ రాయపాటి శ్రీనివాస్ మాట్లాడుతూ ఔషధ విజ్ఞానాన్ని పెంపొందించుకోవడానికి ఇటువంటి సదస్సులు విద్యార్థులకు దోహదపడతాయని, జాతీయ స్థాయి సదస్సులకు తమ కళాశాల వేదికగా నిలవడం గర్వకారణంగా ఉందని తెలిపారు.
Drug safety, pharmacovigilance content. Pharmacovigilance is defined by the World Health Organization in the science and activities relating to the detection, assessment, understanding and prevention of adverse effects or any other drug-related problem. Drug safety and pharmacovigilance remains a dynamic clinical and scientific discipline. It plays a vital role in ensuring that healthcare professionals, a number of medical institutions have developed adverse reaction and medication error closure systems in their clinics, wards and emergency rooms. Academic centers of pharmacology and pharmacy have played an important role through teaching, training, research, policy development, clinical research and the clinical services they provide. Pharmacovigilance is now firmly based on sound scientific principles and is integral to effective clinical practice. The discipline needs to develop further to meet public expectations and the demands of modern public health. I wish this national conference will be very much useful for the drug safety listing, and I once again thank you all of the guests. And now
చిప్స్ కళాశాల ప్రిన్సిపల్ డాక్టర్ విద్యాధర మాట్లాడుతూ సదస్సుకు దేశంలోని వివిధ కళాశాలల నుండి 400 మంది విద్యార్థులు పాల్గొన్నారని, ఈ విద్యార్థులకు పేషెంట్ కౌన్సిలింగ్, కేస్ ప్రజెంటేషన్ మరియు క్విజ్ అంశాలపై పోటీలు నిర్వహిస్తున్నట్లు వివరించారు.
So on the dais, the most respected president of our Nagarjuna Education Society and also the president of Chebrola Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Dr. Raipati Srinivas garu, who came here to bless us on this auspicious occasion. We welcome you, sir. Today's chief guest, the mentor of this organization, mentor of our Indian Pharmaceutical Association, the past president of Indian Pharmaceutical Association, and also is the backbone for our pharmacy professionals, who is guiding us, motivating us, inspiring us to do several professional activities and to uplift the professional pharmacy in India and across the globe. He is none other than Dr. Rao V. Vatlamudi garu. He immediately accepted our invitation and obliged to be the chief guest of today's function. We cordially invite you, sir, for this function. And I must thank several resource persons who have taken a lot of pain to come over here all the way from Mumbai, Delhi, Mysore, etc. etc. Today's keynote address speaker, Mrs. Indu Namia, Head Pharmacovigilance, Boringham, Ingleham, Mumbai, who immediately accepted our invitation and came here to address you on this August occasion. So we are highly thankful to you, madam. Next, Dr. Deepika Bansal. She is Associate Professor, Department of Pharmacy Practice, Naipur, Mohali. She is also one of the resource person who is going to deliver a talk on the current topic, that is drug safety. He came from Mohali, that is almost from Chandigarh to this place, even though she is having hectic schedule at the institution. We are highly thankful to you, madam, and welcome you, madam. Another resource person, she came here to deliver a talk, is Miss Ismit Kaur, Technical Associate, WHO, Country Office for India, New Delhi. Welcome you, madam. And another, once we kept this proposal to organize a 2-day national seminar on drug safety, my young and dynamic friend, Mr. Kaushik Devras, who immediately accepted to tie up with us and to organize this particular function. He came yesterday itself. He is being with us, guiding us to do this such a great event at our organization. We wholeheartedly welcome you, Dr. Devras. Soon he is going to become doctorate. And one more resource person, she came just now. She is our JSS alumni. She is Shilpa Palaksha Madam. She is from JSS University, Mysore. She is going to deliver a talk on this particular topic. Welcome you, Madam. Another very important person who is there on the dais, who is always constantly supporting us, guiding us at our NRI General Hospital to our family students. Under his able mentorship and guidance, our pharmacy students are undergoing clinical practice at NRI Medical College, who is none other than Dr. N.C. Das Garu, Head Department of Pharmacology, who has been here to grace this occasion. Thank you, sir. He is going to be with us for the next 2 days, and moreover, he is the adjudicator, evaluator for the competitions that are going to be organized here. So, I welcome all the delegates who came from various institutions, mainly the student fraternity, who has shown a lot of interest to participate in such drug safety, the current aspect. I welcome you all to this 2-day conference, and at the same time I welcome several adjudicators, chairpersons, resource persons who came from our neighboring colleges, who joined hands with us under the platform of Indian Pharmaceutical Association. My dear friend, Dr. P. Srinivas Babu, Principal, Indian Pharmacy College, the Vice President of Indian Pharmaceutical Association, AP State Branch. Another friend, the CEC member of Indian Pharmaceutical Association, Dr. K. Venkatramana, Principal, ASM Pharmacy College. My young friend, Dr. G. Vijay Kumar, HOD, Pharmacy Practice, KVS of Siddhartha Pharmacy College. Dr. P. V. Rao, Principal, St. Mary's College, and also we are glad to be associated with us the IPA-SF Student Forum Chairperson Pragna Ella and the Treasurer Rahmatullah, another key person Yogendra, IPA-SF active members who have been here to take active role in this particular function. I welcome you all to this 2-day national conference. So, almost 3 months back, when our pharmacy practice department people approached me and proposed a conference on drug safety, I was a little hesitated. Why? Because we are in a very hectic schedule that we are in the process of applying to NAC. During this hectic process, can we able to manage all these resource persons who are taking a lot of pain to come over here and to stay with us for 2 days? So they promised that they are going to come here, they are going to take active role in organizing this particular function, and since they have promised, I relied on them, and I must congratulate Dr. A. Pramod and the silent man who is Dr. R. Haribabu. His work is more appreciated, who is always with the young team of Pharmacy Practice Department and guided all the way for the last couple of months and made it reality to make this particular function at our institution. Thanks to the Department of Pharmacy Practice who took a lot of pain in organizing this particular event. And at the same time, I have to mention our staff members, students and non-teaching staff who have been doing several works related to this activity for the last couple of days to make this particular function most memorable and most attractive one. I and to keep everyone under comfortable stage at Chebrul Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences. I thank each one of you. At the outset, I understand that about 400 students from various parts of Andhra Pradesh mainly and from southern region have attended this particular conference. So, at present, this is the current scenario where most of our healthcare professionals are very much in demand to get aspired into the JAB portions, that is under pharmacovigilance level. We all know that India is the rich hub for producing pharmaceuticals. We know that India is producing almost 1/3 of pharmaceuticals that are required for the entire globe. Since we are producing the major share of pharmaceuticals from our country, and those are being exported to various countries, we are very aware that almost every drug is having both sides, both positive as well as negative shades. The positive one is it is having effective pharmacological activities. On the negative side, the drug is also associated with some side effects. So, the World Health Organization had initiated and taken several measures to set up certain standards on the safety of the drug. In context to that, the pharmacovigilance of India at our country is taking a lot of care in monitoring these drug adverse reactions that are going to prevail with these particular drugs. So based upon this, there are many CEOs, several organizations like Boehringer Ingelheim and several other organizations have come up to take active role in filing this pharmacovigilance documentation for each and every drug. So based on that, since we being the healthcare professionals, particularly you are all involved in clinical practice, particularly the pharmacy students, there is a great scope for employability in pharmacovigilance, medical coding and medical writing. So you should know the importance of the drug safety, where you are going to put up soon after your course is over. You should know the reality, what is exactly happening under pharmacovigilance. What is your role in monitoring the drug safety? All those things, our distinguished resource persons, they are going to deliver talks on that. Hope that these talks will enlighten you and inspire you. Definitely, you are going to take active role in future course of action in the pharmacovigilance of India, and sure that our young minds, youngsters are going to take active role and definitely make India as 100% safe drug producers across the globe. I hope that you will definitely reach to that heights. I wish you all the best and thank you one and all for coming all the way to this institution, being with us. I once again thank you.
ఈ కార్యక్రమానికి ముఖ్య అతిథిగా విచ్చేసిన డాక్టర్ రావు మాట్లాడుతూ భారతదేశంలో ఫార్మకోవిజిలెన్స్ యొక్క పరిణామం మరియు ఔషధ పరిశోధనలు ప్రీక్లినికల్, క్లినికల్ మరియు వాటి ద్వారా ఔషధ దుష్ప్రభావాల గురించి విద్యార్థులకు వివరించారు.
I congratulate the institute for bringing the topic of drug safety as a symposium, as a two-day conference, because drug safety is a very, very important aspect. To be very honest, we don't fathom what is involved in establishing drug safety. Discovery of drugs take a lot of time. Let's say about 15 years on the average, from concept to clinic. That's how we bring a concept to clinic during drug discovery and development, just like ships brings concept to chemicals. One of the aspects of approving drugs at the regulator is to establish beyond any doubt the safety and efficacy of a proposed drug to produce clinical benefit. So right in the journey of drug discovery, right from the beginning, efficacy and establishing safety becomes a part of the agenda. However, during preclinical development, where the drugs are not tested on the human, in the preclinical development, it is necessary to establish evidence, compelling evidence for the regulator to allow drugs to be tested in the human for the first time. And the compelling evidence has to be provided in terms of efficacy and safety. So drug safety is high on agenda right from the beginning. Efficacy is the pharmacodynamic effect that leads to the clinical response, and that produces therapeutic effect against an unmet medical need. We here define unmet medical need as a disease that doesn't have excellent drugs to control in the clinic. But the drugs that you develop, which are highly efficacious, let's say for meeting the unmet medical needs, we also have to ensure that while they are producing the efficacy, they are not producing unnecessary side effects, which sometimes may be tolerated by the patient, but sometimes the side effect is so much so that the drug has to be discontinued. Now, while I talk about preclinical development and taking the drug to IND and stating that we have to prove that it is efficacious and is safe, during that experimental procedures, certain aspects of the drugs and their side effects are taken care. And during the clinical trials, one of the aspects that is evaluated very, very closely by the clinicians is also drug safety. But however, the clinical trials are controlled clinical trials, and you choose your patient population and you restrict to a number of patients and then start giving drugs for a given period, a definite period, to evaluate whether they are producing the efficacy to meet the clinical parameters or the milestones, as well as that there is not much of a toxicity or side effects that are, that are so bad that you have to discontinue treatment. When drugs are approved, there is sufficient clinical evidence to show that they are efficacious and they are also not having side effects, or they may have some side effects, but you can put a label note saying that these drugs would have this kind of side effects. And some of the side effects are predictable. There are mechanism-basic side effects, there are chemical class-inducing side effects which can be predicted. However, there are certain effects drugs may produce when these drugs are being taken by large populations, distinct populations. Now, what I mean by large populations and distinct populations is that in the controlled clinical trials, as I said, drugs are given to a given number of patients. However, in clinical practice, everyone across the globe suffering from the disease start taking the drug. So the numbers increase. Now, you see, you also as pharmacy students have noticed that this drug has a 10% chance of producing headache. That means out of 100, 10 people may get the headache. But then there is also something called, it has a 0.01% chance of producing, granulocytopenia. It's at a 0.01% means it is 10,000, 1 in 10,000. So unless 10,000 people take the drug, that 1% might not come. But these are all predictive toxicities. But when millions of people over a period of time, short duration as well as longer duration, started taking the drugs, then the side effects emerge. Sometimes those side effects are deadly. Low incidence, but what we call a very severe adverse event. So drug safety monitoring is a continuous process throughout the life cycle of the drug. Now, after clinical approval is given, the drug safety monitoring or pharmacovigilance starts. In fact, 2 or 3 very important aspects start at that time. One is pharmacovigilance, the other is pharmacoepidemiology, and the third is pharmacoeconomics. Now, what are we looking at? One, when drugs are continuously used in distinct populations and widespread populations, are they producing any toxic effects which are related to the drug? So that means the ability to detect if there are any adverse events that are produced and then associate that with the drug use and then register that and record that in a repository. Because somewhere some person suffered from a consequence of using this drug, and then how the rest of the people would know. So it is necessary to understand the effect, record it, associate it with the drug use, and then deposit in a database that it is made available. But simultaneously, I want to talk about a little bit about pharmacoepidemiology. Also, the utilization patterns in community, whether there is efficacy. Now, in a clinical trial, efficacy doesn't mean that in large populations there will be efficacy. So we have to continuously monitor how the drug is behaving in populations, whether is it producing the required efficacy, required clinical endpoints are reached. That is one aspect. While reaching that, are they causing any side effects, any adverse events to the patients that warrant that the drug should not be given? These are the two very important aspects. So drugs which are not producing efficacy or which are producing toxicity must be withdrawn. That becomes the responsibility of the regulator. That becomes the responsibility of the companies that are producing the drugs. That becomes the responsibility of the pharmacists who are prescribing the medicines. So therefore, as budding pharmacists, you have career avenues in areas like pharmacovigilance, pharmacoepidemiology, and pharmacoeconomics. I didn't talk about pharmacoeconomics. It is the benefit versus cost ratio. If there is benefit to the patient, if there is increment in the lifestyle, quality of life after taking the drug, is it coming at what cost? How much the patient or how much the insurance company is spending. Now, if it is not safe, then it is not wise to spend money on a drug that is not safe. So these are the points that we need to take into account. And in my opinion, pharmacists are well equipped to do these jobs. But however, when you graduate with a B.Pharm or a Master's in Pharmacy or a Pharm D, you get a background into what it is, but you require more sophisticated, more hands-on training. As I speak, I'm talking from a hypothetical perspective because I haven't been involved in any one of these areas like pharmacoeconomics, pharmacoepidemiology, or pharmacovigilance. But here, sitting on the stage, are people with hands-on experience who are there in that particular field, who deliver, who excel. So for me, the wise thing to do right now is before I produce toxicity in you, I have to stop and allow them to speak. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, and I hope I have created an understanding or kindled an interest towards this particular area. I also have to mention, initially I did not mention, my young friends from Indian Pharmaceutical Sciences Student Forum are here. They're the torchbearers for IPA, taking it forward. So thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity.
ఎన్ఆర్ఐ మెడికల్ కాలేజ్ ప్రొఫెసర్ అండ్ హెచ్ఓడి డాక్టర్ మంగళ్ చరణ్ దాస్ మాట్లాడుతూ రోగులు వారి ఉపయోగించే ఔషధాలపై అవగాహన కలిగి ఉండాలని, తద్వారా ఔషధాల వలన కలిగే దుష్ప్రభావాలను తగ్గించుకునే అవకాశం ఉంటుందని, దానిపై అవగాహన ఫార్మసిస్టులే కల్పించాలని సూచించారు.
They were using some crude drugs of practice that is not so harmful. But now the drugs have been designed with some specific purpose which are very much dangerous. In spite of all the clinical trial, pharmacovigilance, all these things, the outcome is not so encouraging because India is a huge population. Drugs are available, any type of drug is available without any prescription. So because all of the pharmacy faculty are available from different colleges, I want to points. First thing, we are getting sensitized ourselves through different aspects. We interact with our faculty, we interact in the conference, we interact with the doctors, so that we know what is pharmacovigilance, what is the drug safety, how to carry it out. But who is the stakeholder? The doctor who is prescribing the drug, he has no time. What he has prescribed, sometimes he may not be able to see. That is, we cannot blame the doctor because the patient load is so much. Second thing, the patient himself. Most of the time, the patient himself is very much demanding. Sometimes patient is taking the drug by himself because it is prescribed to his colleague, or sometimes 5 years back it has been prescribed. He is storing the drug and using also. So here I want to tell that how to sensitize these persons, because the most stakeholder is the patient who is taking the drug. Unless we sensitize those persons, that drug may produce a side effect. And if you are going to visit the doctor next time, please point out these adverse effects or these unwanted effects or these difficulties. He is not going to point out. So most of the adverse effect is not coming. As I have told already that any drug in India may be available without any prescription. Even if it is written that the drug should not be prescribed with prescription, it will be available. So in that condition, I want to highlight that is it possible in our level, we can carry the message to the public, at least through the advertisement in the movie halls, a 1 minute advertisement that the drug you are taking may not be safe, the drug may be producing these adverse effects. And we can give a number where the patient himself, if he wants, can contact a neutral person, that is what is drug information center. So sometime in NRI we have carried out 1 or 2 discussion class. There what happened, there was the pharmacovigilance part has been reported, but the prescription written is very much wrong. So in that condition, we have to assess ourselves whether the prescription given is proper and whether the patient is properly sensitized or not sensitized. So it is because all the faculty members from different colleges or different members are available. So it is one of the view. And second thing, we can carry some information in the newspaper. But newspaper may not give that much importance unless it is going for some movie or some. So that is my call to you, that we must be sensitive. And second thing, we must be able to sensitize something. So many times it can go by argument. So argument means everybody is having ego, the patient is having ego, the doctor is having ego, the pharmacist is having ego. No, I know everything, why should you tell me? I am not asking you. In that condition, we should convince. And convince anybody requires much time and much power. Say, repeatedly we have to tell, sometimes we may be rejected. So with this I conclude and wish that the conference will be very much successful. Carry out the message as a take-home message. Please try and think what are the innovative procedure we can convince the most important stakeholder, that is the patient, so that actually the drug safety will be carried out in proper way. Thank you very much.
సామర్థ్యం నైపుణ్యం పెంపొందించుకుంటే భవిష్యత్ అంతా విద్యార్థులదేనని కర్ణాటక రిజిస్టర్డ్ ఫార్మసిస్ట్ అసోసియేషన్ ప్రెసిడెంట్ కౌశిక్ దేవరాజ్ తెలిపారు.
I was wondering what should I say to you. So I have a small story to share with you. The story has 2 characters in this. One is a mother camel and one is her calf. So the camel and the calf are walking. So the calf asks mother, "Mom, why do they have long neck?" So mother says, "So that we could see the water behind the hills, so that we could reach early." So few more steps goes on. So the calf asks one more question, "Why do they have long legs?" So mother patiently says that whenever in the desert there will be a lot of slopes, so if we get stuck, so that we can climb early. So few more steps, she asks one more question, "Why do you have thick eyelids?" So the mother says, whenever there is a wind blown in the desert, so that we could cover our eyes getting from the dust. So few more steps, The calf has one more question: why are we in zoo? So what I wanted to tell you is that you all have the capacity and caliber to do many things. So please explore it, and you can do wonderful things. So to say something about our association, we started 4 years back with a motto of uplifting pharmacist profession. We organized several health camps, continuing pharmacy education for pharmacists in Karnataka, very well known tablet cricket tournament. A new initiative like Pharmacist of the Month, wherein we go to the pharmacists who have rendered modern service for 25 years. We go and take an interview with them and release it on social media so that the youngsters can learn few things from them. And this is a new concept that we have signed an MOU with Sattva Health Private Limited, which is we call by name MedSpin, where we collect the unused and expiry medicines. We keep the boxes in schools, colleges and public places and give the unused and expiry medicine to Sattva Health Private Limited so that they recycle aluminium, plastic, glass, and some of the research still they are doing is that that unused medicine can be converted into veterinary products or manure. So in this way we are progressing with a lot of scientific activities by a professional body. So as someone rightly said, this is an era of collaboration. Do you agree on this? Yes. So in this regard, CHIPS, Indian Pharmaceutical Association and Karnataka Registered Pharmacy Association have jointly organized a 2-day seminar on drug safety. I wish a grand success to the conference. I once again thank the principal, my seniors, Dr. Pramod, Raghav Kalyan and all the teaching staff for having me here. Thank you very much.
ఫార్మసీ విద్యార్థులకు ఫార్మకో విజిలెన్స్ అనేది కెరియర్లో ఉన్నత శిఖరాలను అధిరోహించడానికి ఒక మంచి అవకాశమని ప్రధాన వక్తగా విచ్చేసిన ప్రముఖ జర్మన్ సంస్థ బొరింగర్ ఎంజులహెమ్ ప్రతినిధి డాక్టర్ ఇందు నంబియార్ తెలిపారు. ఫార్మకో విజిలెన్స్లో కళాశాలలు మరియు పరిశ్రమలు సమన్వయంతో శాస్త్ర పరిజ్ఞానాన్ని పెంపొందించుకోవడానికి ఉపయోగపడతాయని అన్నారు.
When I started my career with Novartis in pharmacovigilance. So are you all with me? Yes, ma'am. Are you all with me? Yes, ma'am. I can't hear anything from the back benchers. Okay, so I would like to first, as a formality, thank the organizers of this beautiful event to invite me for this prestigious 2-day seminar on drug safety. And I think as Dr. Rao very rightly stated, I have a very interesting topic to share with you. And the only reason that I have a slide deck is to restrain myself from talking too much. I talk a lot. So if I don't have a slide deck, I can go on talking and the other speakers are going to actually kill me. Okay? So I'm very passionate about pharmacovigilance because the very fact is I'm not a pharmacist. I'm a life science graduate. I'm a postdoc. I mean, you must have, if you have heard Dr. Rao talking about me. So I learned pharmacovigilance all through my association with Novartis. So Novartis has been my college for pharmacovigilance. So when I entered Novartis, my title was Executive Drug Safety and Epidemiology. When I started, then it got changed to pharmacovigilance, and then when I got into the new company, and thank you very much because everybody has been pronouncing the name of my company beautifully. It's Boringer Ingelheim.
ఈ కార్యక్రమంలో దేశంలోనే ప్రఖ్యాతిగాంచిన నైపర్ సంస్థ నుండి డాక్టర్ దీపికా బన్సల్, వరల్డ్ హెల్త్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ నుండి ఇస్మత్ కౌర్, విజ్మెడ్ సేఫ్ నుండి డాక్టర్ సెబ్గతుల్లా, జేఎస్ఎస్ నుండి శ్రీమతి శిల్ప మరియు దేశంలోని పలు ఫార్మసీ కళాశాలల ప్రిన్సిపల్స్ మరియు దేశంలోని ప్రముఖ ఫార్మసీ కళాశాలల విద్యార్థులు పాల్గొన్నారు.